taking
Yeah,
a nap.
your kitty's in the show.
He's taking
That's
a nap.
right. That is a comfortable looking cat. Oh, hey,
I
everybody.
know.
I feel like we just are in the middle of something. I know you can't see my cat right now. I got the fly swatter out to kill a fly earlier, and she ran right under the bed because she does not like fly swatter. Death from above. She feels like it's death from above.
Death
It's the
from
same
above.
reason I can't run the ceiling fan in my room because my cat doesn't like it. Which tells you I'm a slave to my cat.
Exactly.
I would rather not be comfortable, but I don't want my cat to be afraid.
Yeah.
So yeah. That says something about me. Hey everybody, happy Sunday. So yeah, what's new, Ann Brothers? How are you?
I'm good. We got woken up at 5 a.m. this morning because Bovine, my kitty Bobo, caught a bat.
Good kitty.
Good kitty. So
Yeah.
we had to take the bat away from the bat was mad because he was in a cat's mouth. So we had to take the bat away from him, let the bat go. Bobo was mad at us then because we took his toy away and he hadn't finished killing it.
Now, which one is the hunter? Is it Cuckoo or Bobo?
Oh, Koo's the one that's always like, he's like, talk about death from above. So we were really surprised when Bobo had a bat in his mouth instead of Koo, because Koo was downstairs sleeping on the ottoman. Bobo was like,
Man,
hey, I got it.
Snooze you lose, man. Snooze you lose.
Exactly. He's like, look at me.
Sorry, Cook.
Yeah. So now he's sleepy. He's like, I had to get up too early to try to kill something, and now I'm sleepy.
Look at that. Oh, good work. That's a nap well earned right there. He was
It is.
providing for his family. So
He
good
was.
job,
He
Bo
was.
the cat.
Mhm.
So Marla has come out from under the bed and now she's like, I see a closed door. I'm not okay with that. Hey, stop that. Hey, stop that. Oh boy. Yeah, now she's mad. I'm like, no, I'm not opening that door. Come get your pets. Come on. Yes, this is the story of my life. All I do is manage cats. I have my indoor cats. I have my outdoor cats that I feed. Um, so we have a cat cafe here in Kalamazoo, and they've stopped taking intakes. They have so many cats right now that they've had to stop taking cats in because they have too many and they're trying to take care of them all. So don't bring your cats to the cat cafe. Instead, volunteer or leave some money.
Leave some
Yeah.
money.
Leave some money.
Leave some money.
Yeah.
Money.
So anyway, yeah.
Money solves
Money.
problems.
Money
or makes
does
them.
solve. No, I'm
but
not
can
like
solve
out
them
there.
too.
So, yeah. So the big thing here it is the end of July, July 27th, and it feels 100. We have 100% like it's the end of July. We're having real summer this summer. We're having real summer, and I don't like real summer. I know. I don't. I know you don't agree with me. We have differing opinions on the season of summer. I don't love it. I went out I was going to do a 5-mile walk this morning, 5.5 miles actually. I got about 3.5 miles into it, and I had water, I had everything. It was going great, and then my body was like, "Girl, you need to go get some ice cream."
Duncan and I went on a walk this morning, and I was like, I'm not sure how far I'm going to get, babe, because I might have to go to the bathroom. And I don't know if you've ever pooped in the woods, Jenny, but it is less.
I have.
It is not fun in the summer. So I was like, about a mile and a half in, I was like, time to turn around. Time to turn around. Actually, it was probably time to turn around 15 minutes ago.
So you cut it close then.
I was so close, man. I was like, man, I was hoping to get in my 60s before I ever pooped myself. But I'm sorry I'm talking about this. But you all know, you've pushed it.
You know.
Too far.
And it's yes. And that's a bad feeling too when you're like in a place where there's no place to poop.
There's no.
It's not
and not
a great
only that, you're walking, so your body's like, oh, you're moving, so you have less control.
Yeah, I had to poop in the woods when I was doing my field study, and you always know it's out there waiting for you. Fortunately, I only had to do it once, but it was in an area of very steep terrain, and there was not a lot of cover, and it was not great. I mean, I got the job done. I had, of course, packed toilet paper, and I had packed a plastic bag. Thank God, because there was no place to bury my stuff. So I had to take it out doggy style. Like, when you take your dog for a walk, you got to bag it up and then do that thing. Yeah. Yeah. So I spent literally half a day carrying my own feces in a backpack. I got to tell you, that's an awesome feeling.
Yeah, so that wasn't me today. I was really happy. I was like, small. I did get like I got a 3-mile walk in before I had to, by the time I got back, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm in trouble. I was like, Duncan's like, do you want me to run ahead of you and unlock the door? And I was like, I wanted you to run ahead of me and get the car. But then I was afraid I'd poop. So let's go.
In my marathon training, that's what I was gonna, do this. I was a walk around this morning. In my marathon training, that's the one thing I do worry about is that I'm gonna shit my pants. That I'm gonna be one of those marathon runners that shits my pants. I'm like, oh,
Enema.
I'm like, I don't care
Enema.
how long it takes me to finish. I will not shit my pants for this marathon.
Enema, Jenny. You can do an enema.
I'm hoping if I follow my normal procedures, because if I do the things that I normally do before a long run, um, I can, like I get up a few hours beforehand, I have my oatmeal, I have my coffee, and then I have a nice poop well before it's time to start. So like
I was
cross
gonna
your
say,
fingers that my normal routine works
okay,
because yeah,
yeah,
yeah, you have to, yeah.
yeah. Make sure you pack
Otherwise,
some oatmeal and some good coffee for our Airbnb.
I will. Our
Mm-hmm.
Airbnb in an area of Detroit that's, you know,
Sketch.
little sketch. Yeah,
Little
that's
sketch.
okay.
That's like East Side. We're going full East Side.
We're going full east side, and yeah, but you know what? It was inexpensive, and it's nice. It's actually really nice. It's 3 bedrooms. Everybody gets their own bed. It's nice.
No, it looks,
So
it's like, hey, here we are.
the tales we will have to tell. That's for sure. So
Exactly. Exactly.
um, yeah. Yeah, so okay, and that was a great story. That's how you kick off an episode by talking about
Yeah.
your innards, but your innards are
Yeah.
going to become your outwards. So I'm
Yeah.
just super excited that you didn't have to poop in the woods today because it's not great in the summertime, and it's especially not great if you don't have any TP or something with you. I mean,
I did not.
you know,
And the
yeah,
woods in Michigan are chocked full of poison ivy. I mean, and I know what it looks like, but
yeah,
man,
it's
you
still
were
hard to
like,
avoid.
it's still hard to
Yeah.
avoid in the woods. And I was like, man, I'm going to get poison ivy on my butt. Well, doctor, you see,
See what had happened? What
what
had
had
happened
happened?
was I was doing this thing.
I was
I'm
still
like,
for a
don't
walk.
punish me for just trying to get some exercise.
Exactly. You're
So
always
that's
saying
what you get for
exercise.
exercising. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. So no,
Mm,
my head did not, and part of it was my fault today because I should have just gotten up early, but I didn't get on the road till probably about 9:30, and by then it was
ooh,
too late. It
too
was too
late.
late.
Yeah.
Yeah. So but the good news is my head did not burst into flames. I did not die, but I was glad to be done with that today. So
Yeah. I bet.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So here it is again, the end of July. It's time to start talking about the Perseid meteor shower. So that's what we're talking about today. And it's fun, I actually thought I knew stuff about the Perseid meteor shower. I learned a lot learning about this, just reading about this week. It's super fascinating. You know, I'm a science teacher, so astronomy is one of the things that I do have some knowledge of. But one of the worst classes I ever took in college was my astronomy class. Did
Did
you
you
have
have
that same
Professor
guy?
Woolley? Professor Woolley.
Yes.
Oh my God, he was the worst.
Mm,
He was the worst.
yes.
Professor
Yeah, it
Woolley at
really.
Eastern. He's
Yeah.
retired. He was supposed to be my advisor for my master's, but then he retired and I got this really cool guy. So yeah, but I
Okay.
was like, when I found out he was going to be my advisor for my master's, I was like, wah wah, because he was the head of the physics and astronomy department. And I was
Yeah.
like, oh man, I
Mm.
hated his class
Yeah, I
with a
despised
passion.
that class, and it really made me mad because that was something I actually wanted to learn more about. I was
Me
excited
too.
to learn about this. I'm like, this could be a really interesting class, and he just killed it with both hands. Just murdered it
Yeah.
with both hands. And I'm like, wow, this was and I took it as an evening class,
Oof.
and yeah, it was bad. I hated
Yeah.
that class.
The
I
only
think I
thing I
swung
remember
a
about
bunny
him
in it.
was he could draw a perfect circle on the chalkboard. That was his one and only true talent because it was not teaching. I think he hated astronomy too. I think he
Yeah, I
hated
think he did.
us. I think he
Yeah.
hated astronomy. I don't think he liked anything.
I think he just wanted to teach physics and be left. Actually, I think he just wanted to research physics and be left alone.
I think so too. I
I
think
get
we
that.
were
I get
we
that.
were
Yeah.
totally jamming him up and he despised us for it. So,
Sorry, bruh. Sorry. That's
yeah.
okay. The good news is we both survived, but I still enjoy it. And it's funny when I taught eighth graders, and we would do earth science. The units they liked the best was stars and galaxies, and then the solar system units that we did. Those were their favorites. The kids that
Mhm,
really want to learn about astronomy, they're super interested in it,
mhm.
which is fun because then you can do all kinds of fun stuff, and you can do little fun activities, and it's genuinely cool. So
It's
yeah,
genuinely
let's talk
fun.
about the Perseid meteor shower. It was kind of cool last year. Last year, Joe and I got to double up on this because I went and visited him about Perseid time, and we went out one night and we got a double whammy. We got Northern Lights and we got Perseids, and it was pretty
Wow.
cork and sweet. Yeah, it was really great. So that's what I was
Wow.
in dress for last summer. So it was
Mhm.
awesome. Anne, would you care to take everyone through the intro today?
I would love to because Jenny, most of the show is the Jenny show today. So we're Anne and Janice brothers. We are
Oh yeah,
sisters. Our last name is
correct.
Brothers. And we should be
Also
the name of
correct.
a sports bar, don't you think?
Oh yeah,
Yeah, the Brother Sister
yeah.
Sports Bar, or yeah, something. We gotta be able to figure out some sort of sport. I heard about a sports bar that only shows women's sports, and it's called the Sports Bra. I thought that was
I
awesome.
would. I'm waiting patiently because they're. I think they're trying to franchise, and I would
Oh,
like
cool.
them to open a franchise here. Yeah.
Hmm.
So
I
oh,
think that'd
wait,
be.
hang on, real quick. I have to look at something real quick. Speaking of women's sports, hang
Hmm.
on. Yes. It's today is the Euro final, the women's European Premier League, Banana Ball, UFC. That's not any of that what I want. Where is it? Women's Euro is today. The final is today. Great Britain versus Spain. Oh, here we go.
Hmm.
Uh, okay, England has beaten Spain 1-1 in penalties. So they had to go to penalty kicks. England is the Euro champ again. So
Wow.
that's great. Poor
Sorry,
Spain.
Spain.
Spain is the best team, arguably the best team in the world. And they cannot catch a break when it comes to women's European soccer, the European Soccer Championships. They just cannot catch a break. So sorry, Spain.
Oh, sorry,
Maybe
Spain.
next time. Yeah.
Maybe next
So
time.
good job. Because the England men's England's men's team, they can't figure it out. But uh, the women won Euros. It was either last year or the year before, and that was the first major English team to win a football championship since like the '60s. So good
Wow.
job, ladies. Way to get it done because your boys
Hmm.
can't seem to get it done. So yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Right. Sorry. Anyway,
Oh,
back
yeah.
to it.
So
I
anyway,
digress.
yeah, as you can see, Jenny would definitely be the bartender at our sports bar, and I would
Hell
be a
yeah.
silent partner. All right, so we're in our 50s, which means we can talk about bowel movements with no shame at all. But it also
Done.
means that we are Generation X, which means a cornerstone of our diet was bologna sandwiches.
Hmm.
Yeah, I think a lot of Gen Xers can say, "Oh yeah, I ate bologna sandwiches all the time." I didn't know there was other lunch meats until I got into high school, and that was the first time I saw like deli turkey. So,
Shaved ham.
mhm,
Shaved ham. Oh,
yeah,
shaved ham. It's like the holy
yes.
grail of lunch meats.
Yeah, but I mean, we never got that. That was for dad, and that was like every once in a great while. But yeah,
Yes.
bologna. Bologna was what you fed children. Children should eat, and we ate so much bologna.
So much bologna. Say this though that in terms of learning to cook, a fried bologna sandwich was one of the first things I learned to cook.
Yeah,
So
yeah, that was
they
good.
pop up. It pops
They
up.
pop up. Exactly.
Bologna's amazing. It pops up
Uh-huh.
when you fry it. So
Mhm. Yeah. So there you go. Bologna.
yeah.
Who knew?
Mm.
So much of it in our diet. We
The,
talk
the
about.
difference you the
Go ahead.
difference between our bologna sandwiches as children is that I always had a plain bologna sandwich and you had a bologna sandwich with mustard on it. So
Exactly. Exactly.
yeah.
My love of
Yes.
mustard continued. Yeah. So bologna sandwiches on bread all the time. We talk about round circles of bologna. Mhm.
Yes.
Anyway, we talk about smart stuff, dumb stuff, fun stuff, or any combination of the three. We are not cool, hip, or sexy. We will often choose naps as our favorite activity.
Yeah. So great.
I know. It's like, would you rather do this or take a nap? I'm like, ooh, nap.
Nap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm. So cool, hip, and sexy people. I don't think they take naps, but damn if we don't love a nap.
They're too busy being their lives are so busy and sexy that they don't have time for naps.
Exactly, which is
So,
sad. I
yeah.
think it's sad for them. Um, we're not a true crime celebrity or influencer podcast. Oh, we are the appetizer platter of podcasts.
Yes.
All your favorite fried and cheesy things on one plate. Mm.
Tato skins, baby. Get you some
Mhm.
tater skins.
Tater skins
Um,
and mozzarella sticks and I don't know
yeah.
whatever else they put on
Chicken finger,
appetizer plats.
wingy dingies or riblets if you're fancy. So Joe was out this week with some of the people that he works with, and they went to Chili's. Now I have not set foot in Chili's in ages, but he said that Chili's has started posting their calorie content on their menus, and like the baby back ribs was like in the thousands, just the baby rack ribs. That didn't include the fries. It was like that was like 1,300 calories just for the ribs, and I'm like, that's amazing.
Mhm. Why would you do
Mm.
that? It just makes me, I was like, that just makes me not want to eat the food because I was like, ignorance is bliss, man. I don't
Ignorance is
want to
bliss. Yeah.
know.
No. I know it's supposed to be the thing that makes me make better choices, but instead I'll just avoid it so I don't have to make a choice at all. So I'll just go to some place that doesn't have the calorie content on the menu.
That's exactly it. I was like, do you want me to make the choice of not going to Chili's and going
Right.
someplace else where they don't like post the calories? So I'd be like, oh, yay. I don't care. It must be 0 because it's not
It must be
posted.
0 because it's not up here.
Exactly.
All right. So okay, real quick, Ann Brothers. Top 3 appetizers. Go.
Top 3 appetizers. Well, I'm oh gosh, Jenny Brothers.
I know. I sprung
Um,
this on you. I'm sorry.
no. I do like a nice crispy chicken wing, but I mean like
Mm,
without with the bone in, and I don't want it to be deep fried. I just want it to be baked and crispy. So
okay.
I like that. I do love any sort of cheesy dip
Ooh,
and
good.
any sort of loaded French fries.
Nice. Nice. Yes.
One of my least favorite is nachos. Duncan loves a nacho, and I'm always like, oh, I don't know. It just seems like not an not enough stuff per corn chip. I'm like, I want more stuff for my corn chips, you know. So
Right.
anyway, but
Right.
those are what are your 3 favorites?
I love me a fried mushroom.
Mm,
And it's
mhm,
yeah, deep fried mushroom. Uh I'm going to go with chicken wings. Wings are my probably one of my very
mhm,
favorite things. I love them. The more buffalo-y the better.
mhm,
And probably I just really love like chips and queso. Um,
mhm,
one of the little restaurants over here, they make a street corn dip. It's a cheese dip, but it's got like street corn and stuff in it. It's so good. I'm a big fan of dips as well.
mhm.
And for me, I think nachos are amazing, but I don't want anything on my nachos. I want my corn chips and I want to be able to dip it. That's why I love 7-layer dip. 7-layer dip is the way all nachos should be. It should be like a plate
Exactly.
of thing, and then I can load up my crunchy chip because
Mhm.
by the time you get to the bottom of a plate of nachos, it's
Oh,
usually just
soggy.
goo, and
Mhm.
I hate that.
Yeah.
But if you have like deconstructed nachos where you can load the chip at your pleasure, ugh,
Mhm.
it's
Yeah, I agree.
okay. Sorry.
Way
Yeah.
better. Like, you know, like
Yes.
a bowl of guac, a bowl of queso, and a bowl of salsa, and a big old basket of
Yes.
chips. Olay.
Yes. Thank you.
Mhm,
Ole.
mhm.
Uh, yeah. So that's what we are, and we are the cheesy deconstructed nachos of the podcast world.
That's
So
exactly what we are. Very good.
yeah.
All
Yeah.
right,
Yeah.
so let's continue. We've been told we're good to listen to when you want to hear things about food, obviously, and when you want to
Yeah.
learn things about stuff, and because it's hot
Hmm.
outside and you need
Hmm.
something to listen to after your nap. So here we are.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah, when it
Let's
gets like this where it's hot and humid, man, it's just like, look, I can go to sleep now. Yeah, it just
exactly.
puts
I
you
can
right
go to
under.
sleepy.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So this podcast warning: this podcast is not G, PG, or even PG-13. Today we were talking about stars raining down on the fucking Earth. At least that's what I think when I think meteor shower. So there you go. Jenny's going to straighten it out for us. But right now I think, yay, raining stars. All right. You can follow us. Join us on our website: Spotify, Apple Podcast, iHeartRadio, YouTube, Amazon Music. We're on all the biggies, people. Like us,
That's
follow
right.
us, smash that bell, and leave us a review. You can give us feedback with our questions and answers and our polls, and you can ask Alexa and that other one, and she will play us.
Siri.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes, Siri.
Nice.
Sorry, Siri.
Siri.
Someday I will learn your name.
She won't because she just you're not an Apple lover. If you were an Apple lover, you'd be like Siri's like this and Siri that, and people are gonna be like, look, Anne's got a crush on Siri, but you don't even have Alexa, but
I
I
don't even
do.
have
So
Alexa.
you have a yeah, you got like a crush from afar on Alexa. And yeah, that's right. Support us, you guys. And we're looking for your support. Share us, tell people about us, like, subscribe, follow, leave a review. Spotify, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music. Put the word out. Tell your friends. They too could listen to us talk about our bowel movements for the first 10 minutes of a show. So yay. Hurrah.
Yeah, if you have a problem with poop, we're not the show for you.
Yeah, but you know what? We're just saying the things that are happening in your life, but you don't want to admit it because it's not fun.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, it was funny. May not be fun, but it was funny. All right.
Agreed.
Let's talk about some smart, dumb, and fun stuff that happened to me this week. Duncan and I went to a lavender festival, and that was fun. It was at Jacob's Farms, which is not too far from where we live. And actually, the produce, the agricultural farm stop where I work, we get their produce and their honey. So they were having a lavender festival, so we went. That was fun. And here's the most hysterical part: so you're at this farm with all this, farmed healthy food, and the Oscar Mayer Wiener car was there. And I didn't know this, Jenny. There's only one. There's only one.
Yes, I did know that.
I did not know
Yeah.
that. So I was like, okay, so I have this art thing that I do where I make tiny dioramas. And I got to tell you, I find all kinds of crap. And Jenny knows because she's been with me when I find tiny bits of crap that I make into little teeny dioramas. And they're like, they cover one of the walls in my hallway. I've been doing this for a while. And I was like, I got to tell you, when I saw that they had teeny little wiener whistles, I was like, oh my God, this is what I need for my next art project. So I'm going to blow the whistle. So I got two because Duncan got one too. And now I have two of these. So yeah, I'm going to make an art project. What am I going to do with it? I don't know, but it's probably going to be vulgar. And I am very excited about this. Yes, I'm always looking for
As you
little.
should be.
Yeah. And I've always been attracted to little bits and pieces of ephemeral that I find. And I was like, oh man, I can't do this. I've got all this, crap. I need to, scale down. But then I read how Frida Kahlo collected all of this kind of stuff too. And she had drawers full of it and she would give it away to people. And I was like, yeah, little crap, little bits
That's
of
correct.
crap,
Tiny crap.
tiny crap. So,
Well, and
and
that's one of the
also,
fun things to do is to
mhm,
look at your dioramas and try to piece it together. So,
yeah,
yeah. All
piece
right.
together.
Sorry, Ann, go ahead.
No, I was like, each one tells a story. Some of it's personal, some of it's, but they each tell a little story. Anyway, also, I was at my gym, and my gym has two-story windows. So the windows go all the way. We're kind of like in a basement, but has windows all the way up to the second story, and it overlooks a wooded area. And on Monday, there were four half-grown raccoons a little bit back in the woods playing. Oh, Jenny, I did because I do like 5 laps on the track before I get started, kind of as a warm up. And I stopped at the last lap and like sat and just stood there by the window and watched them play. It was like tumbling and biting, and it was like a ball of baby raccoon just tumbling across the. So hilarious. Oh man, it was amazing. I'm like, I know they were practice killing my chickens. That's what they were practicing. But
Yes.
dang, are they cute while they learn how to murder? So,
I know, right? I get that. Yeah.
mhm.
I get it.
God, they
Yeah,
were
because
so
raccoons are
cute.
dicks, but
They were dicks, but damn, if these guys weren't the cutest thing. And I was the only one that stopped and looked. I'm like, people, but they're all, very serious, very serious. And I was like, I'm not serious enough, but
can't,
baby raccoons, so cute.
dude, I can't let anything get in the way of my burn, bro.
Exactly. And I let
Raccoons
baby
are worth it.
raccoons distract me. Oh my God, Jenny, they were so funny. They were so fat and pudgy and biting each other and rolling around and so Mike, they fight play like baby kittens do, so they're like, no, take no prisoners.
Awesome.
How about you, Jenny?
They're in it to win it. Well, a couple things. Well, first off, I went to my first Kalamazoo Growlers game this week. So Joe's work was doing a promotional thing, so they had a table set up at the Growlers game. And I got to tell you, if you are a baseball fan, and I have a mixed relationship with professional sports. I love sports. I love it. But it's really hard to like professional sports right now because there's so much terrible behavior and just gross amounts of money that go to both ownership and players, and it's vile how much time and energy and money we spend on pro sports and the gambling that goes with it, and
Mm,
it's disgusting. So I have tried to find other ways to sport as an adult, and this is a good one. Growlers baseball. It's a minor league baseball team. They're basically part of what's called the Northwest League. So it's basically a league where college kids go play here during the summer to keep themselves sharp. So it's a wood bat league. So great little stadium, fun activities. The cool thing about minor league baseball is that the organizations will work really hard to make sure you feel like you've gotten your money's worth. So there's They do entertainment, they do games, they do giveaways. There's a humongous play area for kids that are one of the local banks sponsors. They had fireworks. It was Star Wars theme night, so everybody was walking around with they gave away lightsabers, which was not going to end well, which I'm sure with somebody with an eye patch, ended the night with an eye patch. Um, they had a firewalker, they had jugglers, they did all of this fun stuff. And so I really like that sort of thing. I really do like minor league baseball. And yes, it's feeding into the professional systems and all of that. But when we lived in Wisconsin, there was the town that we lived next to, a town of maybe 1,200 people. They had a town baseball team. And so you could go to those games, show up. They were free, bring your chair. They had a bar tent. They had hot dogs and hamburgers that they were, making and giving away. So it's just a really good time. So if you're in the area in Southwest Michigan, go check out. There's a lot of local small baseball teams in the area. Take your kids, go check it out. It's a blast. The other thing that was fun this week is Joe and I watched the movie Bottoms, which I got to tell you, what a great effing little movie. I'm sure if you're a mainstream movie lover, you probably missed this movie because it was, I don't even know, was it even in the theaters? I have no
It
idea.
was for
Probably
like this long.
4 minutes. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
this is not one of those movies that's mainstream. It's about a couple of girls, the high school girls. They are the unpopular gays. The ugly unpopular gays, as they are labeled in the movie. This is a satire about just being in high school, and they essentially start a fight club because they want to try to attract girls so that they can have sex. That's it. So it's basically a lesbian boy teen. It's a lesbian teen comedy. Um, they kind of turn the boy teen comedy from like the 80s on its head, and we get this movie where they start this fight club with this group of misfits. And like I said, it's an amazing satire. They just skewer public education as they should, and it's just cheeky writing. It's one of those movies like Joe and I were talking about it last night. I'm like, how does this movie with zero special effects and no budget have you laughing and interested and engaged the whole time? Because writing matters, cheeky writing matters especially. So I loved it. It was great.
Yeah. I don't
Watch
think
it.
I've seen a high school satire this good since Heathers or Election. I don't think those I think were
Maybe Mean
both.
Girls. Mean Girls
Yeah.
was probably the last one that
Yeah.
was as good as this one. Yeah,
Yeah. I agree.
yeah. So there was a little bit. There's a tiny bit of the Mean Girls vibe in it, which I really liked because Tina
Hmm.
Fey wrote that. So
Right.
so yeah, that was my week. It was a good week, and it was hot. So
It was
all
hot.
right, here we are. We've talked for almost a half hour, and yes, we're going to talk about the Perseid meteor shower. I promise. For those people that have been like, I thought you were going to talk about the meteor shower. I'm like, we are, but we're going to fuck off
We're
for a
getting
while
to it.
first. So that's what we did.
Exactly.
Yep.
We got an hour to
All right.
fill.
We have an hour to fill, and there you go. Okay, so let's talk about some background first, because I hear people, well, for instance, my sister who said there are stars raining down from the sky. I'm like, no, they're not, because if that was happening, we'd be dead. So,
I know, but I
all right,
thought it sounded exciting.
it's very exciting. So let's start with some background on meteors and other cosmic terminology. Okay, so let's start with what this is. So let's start with the idea first of we'll start big and work our way down to smaller stuff. Okay, let's start with comets. Comets are they are essentially big chunks of ice and rock that are hurtling through space, and as they get close enough to a star, they get heated up. And the reason comets have a tail is that's just as they get heated, that ice begins to vaporize, and it's bits of dust and rock and ice that are trailing behind it, because these things are cranking at about 60 meters a second or faster. So these things are hauling ass. And so as a result of that, that's if there was no sun, it would just be this big ball of ice and rock. But because you get towards in this case the sun, it starts to eject off the back of it as it moves, and it has this cool tail. So that's a comet. All right. Then you have asteroids. Asteroids are essentially, they are smaller normally than comets. Comets are usually bigger. These are smaller, they're rocky, and they just orbit around the sun. So like comets orbit around the sun, but the orbits are usually outside of the solar system, where asteroids, at least the ones that we interact with in our planet, are part of what's called the asteroid belt. And I'll talk about that in just a second. But asteroids are smaller. They're basically just rock. There's no ice really involved in them. They're not streaking along at the same speed. And then you have meteors, meteoroids, meteorites. Those are three distinction of things that are moving through space. The first one is a meteoroid. Meteoroid is basically any small rock that's moving through space. It becomes, we designate it as a meteorite when, or I'm sorry, a meteor, when it actually finds its way into the atmosphere and starts to heat up due to friction. And it's classified as a meteorite if it hits the ground. So if you're a rock flying through space, you're a meteoroid. If you are a rock that enters our atmosphere and starts to burn up because of friction with the atmosphere, you're a meteor. And if you actually make it down and make contact with the ground, you're a meteorite. Okay. So there you go. There's your big distinction between these celestial bodies. Now, as far as the Perseid meteor shower, the big players are um, comets and meteors. Okay. And usually with this one, because the particles are so small, the Perseids usually don't lead to meteorites because they've basically completely burned up by the time they get to us. Okay. So let's talk about the asteroid belt versus the Oort cloud. So the asteroid belt, because again, people think that these things are coming from within the solar system. They're not. The asteroid belt is within the solar system, and it's basically a big donut of rock that um, has an elliptical orbit around the sun, and its orbit sits in between the orbits of Mars and Jupiter. And it's good. So if there's, there's like all this like chatter, we're gonna mine the asteroid belt and all this sort of stuff. I'm like, okay, that's great. First let's maybe have planes that don't fall out of the sky. I'm like, that's a great idea. Let's do that instead.
Mhm.
Okay. So on the other hand, we have the Oort cloud, and the reason that the Oort cloud we're talking about it is because the comet that essentially propels the Perseid meteor shower, which we have every year, comes, they think, from the Oort cloud. So the Oort cloud is a theoretical spherical region that surrounds our entire solar system. So it's like a big dome of comets or ice, chunks of ice that become comets that surrounds our solar system. Now, it's theoretical, meaning that we've never actually put eyes on it. And the reason that we never have is because it's really fucking far away. Okay. It's literally outside of the solar system, which is far away.
Yeah, I was
Like,
gonna say, like
yeah.
really far.
So they're pretty sure, based on the evidence of comets that they've tracked, that they're coming from this Oort cloud. And then there's another smaller, less, because like this one is essentially a dome around the solar system. They have another one called the Kuiper Belt, which is closer and smaller. Again, it's like this flat plane of comets as well. But we're, so the thing about the Oort cloud has what we call long-term comets. Comets meaning that comets that will appear or orbit around their sun, it takes about 200 or more years for that to happen. So that's one of the things about the Oort cloud is that that's um, that's going to give us comets that take longer to get to us. So, okay, a couple of fun things. So that's asteroid belt versus the different clouds that release comets into our solar system sometimes. Okay. So let's talk about the Perseid meteor shower real quick. So the question is, where do the meteors in this particular meteor shower come from? They come from a comet called the Swift-Tuttle comet. And if you can see, I got the comet here. You've got a couple different things that you're looking at in this picture. The small blue line, it shows you Earth's elliptical orbit around the sun, and this big green line shows you the Swift-Tuttle comet um, as well. So it orbits right next to the sun. The sun is what the sun's gravity is what keeps this comet basically swinging around. And it takes, like I said, a few hundred years for this comet to make its full rotation. But we do intersect its orbit, and there's lots of debris within the orbit itself. So the tail has left all of this debris in the orbit, and what happens is that the Earth intersects this essentially this dust orbit once a year, and it's about August. The peak of it is essentially August 11th, 12th, 13th. Now, the reason and we'll talk a little bit about this in a second, the Perseid meteor shower actually is almost a month-long event, and that's a testament to how big this debris field of this comet is. It's good size, and it takes us several days to make our way all the way through it. So you basically have these two things that are happening. You have the constant speed of the comet and the debris within the comet, and then you have the constant speed of Earth going through its elliptical orbit. And as a result of that's why we have this event that happens pretty much the same time every year. Hang on, I'm going to cough.
Yay, meteors. Woohoo.
Good job, Ann. Thanks for covering for me. Okay, good. Okay, so look, here's a GIF, or a GIF, as some people call it, and it basically just shows us that. It shows us that the Earth, you've got the orbit of the comet and all of its debris at the tail that gets ejected from the tail of that comet, and then there we are going through it. Yay, Perseid! And you can see the dates changing at the top, and we go through the bulk of that debris field, essentially starting August 11th, 12th, and 13th. Though there's debris, you can literally go outside tonight and watch the Perseids, but you're probably not going to see very many. Okay, so let's talk about where to look. So when it comes Perseid time, and really the best time to look is going to be the night, I want to say the night of the 12th into the 13th is your peak time to see the Perseids. That's when you're likely to see anywhere between 50 and 60 meteors an hour, which is pretty good. It's a pretty good rate. Unfortunately, oh wait, we have a comment. I'm going to look and see what our comment says. Look, it's Nancy. Nancy! She says, I was curious about the name of that cloud. The Oort cloud is named after a Dutch astronomer, Jan Oort, and has proposed its existence in the 1950s to explain the origin of long-period comets. That is correct. And so, like I said, it's theoretical. We have some evidence to show that it does exist because there are so many large, these long-term comets that you see. So, good job, Jan Oort.
Jan Oort. There you go. That's a good name.
Oort. It is. It's a great name. So, I'm telling you, man. Those Dutch got the best names ever.
They do.
So, there you go. All right, so you're going to look north. Start by looking north and probably a little bit more towards the northeast. And you're looking for the constellation Perseus. Now, I don't know about you, Ann Brothers, but I am terrible at finding constellations. Effing terrible. And we'll talk about ways around that in a minute. So you're looking for the constellation Perseus. And the reason you want, that's how they got their name, Perseids, named after Perseus. I can't remember which one is he. I know I should know
he's the one that killed Medusa. His father,
that's right.
His father was Zeus, and he seduced his mother with a golden shower. Those Greeks are freaking crazy. Anyway, there was a prophecy that Perseus's grandfather was a king, and he got this. The oracle told him that his grandson would kill him, so he sent his mother and Perseid into it, like when he was a teeny baby, out in like a little dinky raft in the ocean, so they would die. But they didn't. They got rescued. So anyway,
nice.
He was like one of the big. Perseid ended up being one of the big kings of ancient Greece. So there you
go.
Cool.
Yeah. So his constellation. If you look in the summer months, it's going to be in the north. It'll sit about 60 at peak viewing time. You'll be about 65 degrees off the horizon, and what happens is that the Perseids essentially emanate from the Perseid constellation. So that's essentially how they got their name. So if you are looking at the northern sky, there's a couple different constellations. You've got Perseus down towards closer to the horizon, and then above that you have the constellation Cassiopeia. And if you look at this picture on the right, in yellow, that's the constellation Perseus and the different stars within Perseus. And then the arrows that you're showing here, this is where you're likely to see your meteors. The meteors essentially radiate out and away from the top portion of that Perseus constellation. When we get to the little section on how to best view the meteors, I'll kind of give you some hints on that. Ooh, look, Nancy's still with us. We'll be canoeing, camping up in Minnesota at Boundary Waters at that time. Nice. I am so geek. Oh, girl, you are in such a great spot to see that. Place. Oh, Nancy, Trots jelly, which means I'm totally jealous. Yeah, because there's nothing up there. You talk about an area where you're going to see some dark sky. That's a great place for dark sky. So, and what's great about that particular spot is that you don't, there's no residual light from a big city like Minneapolis, St. Paul is, 300 miles away from you. So that's so amazing. Yeah, so that's super fantastic. All right, so here's some fun facts about the Perseid meteor shower. Again, it's debris from the Perseids from the comet Swift-Tuttle. Swift-Tuttle's it's a big constellation. It's about 16 miles in diameter, which makes it the largest object that repeatedly passes through Earth. So It's the largest comet to pass by Earth as far as orbiting, which is a big deal. In the early 1990s, astronomer Brian Marsden essentially calculated that this comet would hit Earth in 2026. So, fortunately, he was
He was
wrong.
wrong.
Wait, it's not
Oh,
2026 yet. This could still happen. No, mathematically, it's his observations and his calculations have been ruled out. However, scientists do think that there will be a close encounter within a million miles in the year 3044. So
so
set your watch.
whatever is taken over from us, then that'll be their problem.
Yes, this is a problem for the alien species that eventually occupies our planet. So
Yeah.
Yahoo. Okay.
So good luck.
Uh, okay. So essentially, the way it works is that when you have a Perseid particle, so a meteor, enters our atmosphere to become a meteoroid. No, I'm sorry, meteor. Meteoroid comes into our atmosphere, become a meteor. Um, what happens is it's moving at such a high rate of speed that it actually compresses the air in front of it. And as it compresses the air in front of it, friction increases and that little particle starts to burn up. And that's what we see as our shooting star. Um, Traditionally, if you look at the different layers of the atmosphere is actually broken into layers based on gas particle density. That the layer of the atmosphere where we start to see it's dense enough to cause this sort of compression is the mesosphere. So you're talking 50 to 60 miles above the surface of the Earth. So this is happening way up there. So just know that if you're going through like the upper layers of the atmosphere, it's not quite dense enough. You get to the mesosphere, we get that density, we can start making fireworks happen. Um, so most comets in the Swift-Tuttle family, again, this is a whole family of comets. They come out of the Oort cloud, and again, essentially the way it works is that the reason that Swift-Tuttle has managed to break out of the Oort cloud is because it's close enough to get that little nudge from the sun, gravitationally speaking. Okay, because even though it's a really long way away, it's not close enough to the next star to be affected by that gravity. It's close enough to the sun to be affected by that gravity. So those, not every comet in the Oort cloud ends up coming our way. Some of them go towards whatever large star happens to be the next closest. Okay. All right. So here's some more fun facts about the Perseid meteor shower. Um, Again, the mesosphere, the Perseids are active for an extended period of time from mid July to late August because the comet Swift Tuttle debris stream is very wide. It's miles and miles wide. It takes time for the Earth to pass through it. Again, you guys, we can trace this comet back about 2,000 years. It's believed to be the same comet that was observed in 188 AD and possibly as early as 69 BC. So when we talk about long-term comet, that's what we're talking about. We don't see it very often. So again, the next time we see this comet, it will probably be. Hmm, I'm trying to think of when I did the math on it earlier, and I don't know what I did with my little piece of paper where I wrote it down. It's going to be a few hundred years before we see it again. So we're not going
Did
to see it in our lifetime. Oh, I've got it here. It will
thought
return in 2126.
26.
So
Yeah.
hooray.
Again,
That'll be
alien
fun.
overlords. Your
Mm-hmm.
problem.
Your problem, not my problem. Okay. All right. So let's talk about when you're going to look for the Perseids. Uh, like I said, the first action started on the 17th, and we're going to see probably some decent viewing all the way through August 23rd. Um, so again, this year's expected peak is the 11th, 12th, and then that night of the 12th is probably going to be your best. Pre-dawn is best. So if you're an early bird, that's when you're going to want to see it. So probably somewhere in the neighborhood. Sunrise right now, if you're in the northern part of the United States, if you're in the Eastern time zone, is about 6:30 in the morning. So you're going to want to get out there probably about 3:30, 3 o'clock in the morning for your 3 to 4 is probably going to be your peak viewing. Unfortunately, this year it's kind of a bummer because we have the full moon is just a few days before peak this year. So when those peak nights, 11th, 12th, and 13th, you're going to have a large waning gibbous moon that you're going to
Mhm.
have to deal with. So you have to consider that. So for instance, moonrise on Monday the 11th in Kalamazoo, Michigan is 10:06 p.m. For you in Chelsea, Ann, it's like 9:59.
Okay.
Moonrise on Tuesday the 12th is 10:27, and on Wednesday it's 10:50. So when you're going out and doing your viewing, you might want to consider where the moon is going to be in the sky. The good news is there's a couple different really great moon charts that show you when you're going to have the moon high in the sky, that sort of that peak time. So you're going to want to pay close attention to that because that's going to help you view it. So you're going to want to look at moonrise and moonset. Moonset for all three of those days is somewhere in the neighborhood from either 9:30 to 11:30 a.m. So unfortunately, the moon's probably going to be with you through most of the viewing throughout the entire, both the 11th, 12th, and 13th. Sorry, I got a little fly that's making my life hard here. Okay, so let's talk about how to look. The first thing you're going to want to do is check the weather ahead of time because, you know, clouds are kind of a bummer when it comes to the Perseid meteor shower. You don't need any special equipment. So you don't need binoculars, you don't need a telescope. Of course, if you have those things and you want to set it up, by all means do so. My next order of business is to tell you to get out of town. Nancy, you've got the right idea. You're going to be in the middle of nowhere, which is the perfect way to stargaze. Rural areas are best, dark sky areas. If you live in the state of Michigan, there's a couple great dark sky parks if you go north. So you're going to want to check those out. Make sure you're comfortable. Get comfy. If you have a lawn chair that allows you to recline, do that. That way you don't have to strain yourself by looking up constantly. You'll just be able to lay back and enjoy the show. Uh, if you are planning on being out there for a while, bring bug spray and water and some snacks. Again, when you're out there in the middle of nowhere in the middle of the night, your nice body heat and the fact that you're red meat will make you a mosquito magnet for sure. So you absolutely want to make sure that you take care because it will be buggier than you think it will. It always is. This little fly right now that's in my room is killing me right now. Get out of here. Stupid fly. I might have to pause and get out the fly swatter and do some damage.
Do some damage.
Okay. So again, bug spray will be a big thing. I went out to look for Perseids, I don't know, probably about 5 or 6 years ago when I was still living in Wisconsin, and I almost got murdered by mosquitoes. It was not great. So there you go. Uh, look for other fun sky stuff. So that's like I said, people get this idea that this is like a constant raining down of stars, as my sister said. It's not. This is patient. You're doing 50 to 60 an hour, which means you're only seeing maybe one a minute. Sometimes you'll see one every couple of minutes. Sometimes you'll see two in a minute. So it's not a fast paced thing. So if you have this idea that it's going to like they're going to be raining down fire upon you, not really. So you want to find other fun things to look at in the sky. So look for satellites, look for cool planets. I usually take binoculars because if you can find Jupiter, and if you have a good set of binoculars, you can actually look at the four big moons of Jupiter, which is pretty awesome. You can look for the International Space Station. You can go into the internet and figure out where the space station will be in the sky. And then, of course, you can always do some constellation hunting. Like I said, I am terrible at constellations. I can pretty much give you the Big Dipper and the Little Dipper. You're welcome. So, if you're like me, and you're kind of an amateur sky watcher, I highly recommend that you get the Star Walk 2 app because that thing is awesome. So the way the Star Walk 2 app works is that you put it on your phone, you open up the app, and then it basically shows you the sky. So you can point your phone, you know, you do a little orientation thing on it, and then you can point your phone at the sky. And based on your location, it uses your location information, it shows you what's in the sky. And it's so cool because you can literally do a 360-degree pan and it shows you every constellation, it shows you every star, it shows you every planet, it shows you everything that shows you where the moon is, and it will actually show you where the Perseids are. Because last year, that's what we did when we were in Wisconsin. We were looking at both the Northern Lights and the Perseids. It was really cool because it shows you where they should be coming from, and that's going to help you find in the sky because you just basically point it at the sky and it shows you from your perspective where you should be able to see the Perseus constellation. And if you're doing that, then it makes it way easier for you to start spotting those meteors if you come out. And that's a big deal because if you don't spot those where the origin is, it's harder to find them. So if you're actually looking at where they come from, you can see them pop out because they don't last. They're there and they're gone pretty quickly. So it's not like they're streaking across the sky and that you can track it forever. It's there and it's gone. It's like it's funny because if you're sitting there with people and they're watching it too, they'll be like, there's one. And then by the time you're like looking up, it's gone. So just know that anything you can do to get you a view quickly coming from the origin, I highly recommend the Star Walk too. Nancy says none of these apps will work on the boundary waters as there is no service and there will be totally off the grid.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it's good that you'll have a physical map, and that's fine, Nancy, because this is what you're going to do. You're going to practice ahead of time. So the good news is that if you get really good at practicing with the app, so that you know where and can easily identify the Perseus constellation, then you won't need the app. All you'll have to do is just, like I said, practice ahead of time, get good at identifying the Perseus constellation itself. So that way, when you're seeing that fantastic view of the sky that you're going to have, and it's going to be bang, it's going to be so great. I'm so excited for you that you'll just be able to look in the sky without an app and be like, "There's the Perseus constellation," and then you can focus in on that as you're doing your sky watching. So practice, practice. But you're a teacher, you plan, you know what to do. So there you go, you got this. And yeah, it's going to be amazing. You're going to be able to see. It's so dark up there. You can track the Milky Way. You can see so much cool stuff.
I'm
And
using
using the Star Walk too. Isn't
I'm
it
using
tight?
it right now. It's super
So
tight.
tight. Yeah.
Oh, there's
It's
Perseus.
fun.
I found Perseus. Cool.
Nicely done. And brothers pointing it north, north to east. That's right. Yeah,
Woo!
it's one of my favorite apps, and it's just they've updated it a couple of times through the years, and it's just it's good, and it plays like this. If you turn the volume up, it plays this mystical,
Uh-huh.
starry music, and
I
it's
had
so
to turn
cheesy
it
and
down.
delicious.
I know I
You
had to
do
turn
because
it
you're like,
down.
oh yeah, it's so annoying.
I was like,
So if
oh no,
all of a sudden you're looking at your Star app and your Star Walk 2 app, and then all of a sudden you're like, I'm like, am I having some sort of episode? Where's this music? It's the app. It's playing
it's
you
the
this
app.
beautiful starry music.
Mhm.
So there you go. Yeah, so that's what you're going to do, Nancy, and that way you're going to be fully prepared when you get to those boundary waters. And we are wishing, Anna and I are sending all of the positive, clear sky energy for you. No clouds,
No
no
clouds.
clouds,
No clouds, no
clear
rain.
skies.
Clear
No, no,
skies.
no. I
No.
know you
Yeah.
got this. So, all
Hmm.
right, good. So those are my suggestions for how to look. So, I think we're done, Ann brothers. I think that's
I
all I
know.
have.
Wow.
I know,
Good job.
I
Good
know.
job.
Thanks,
Hmm.
thanks. Yeah, really, I just wanted you. I wanted you to know a couple of things. I
Hmm.
wanted you to know where to look, how to find it, because it took me a long time to figure out what to look for and where to look. And just remember, the constellation will be a little higher than you think. Um, one of the things about the horizon is that I usually use my fingers to help me with horizon. Like
Hmm.
that's like your pinky is 5 degrees. Your this one's like 10 degrees. You have to stack them. So if you want to get like 30 degrees off the horizon, I use my fingers to kind of
Hmm.
do that. But it's choice.
Yeah. No, that's
So
what
yeah.
I do too. I use my fingers, stack my fingers up so I can like,
hmm
yeah, yeah, yeah. Hmm.
Like there's 15,
Hmm.
45. So yeah,
Yeah.
so you're gonna go at least 45 degrees off the horizon in order to find the Perseus, at least the bottom part of the Perseus constellation, because it's a good sized constellation.
Hmm.
So yeah, all right.
Yeah.
So um, happy hunting to you. I really do like. I get super excited when we have cool celestial events like this. I know a couple years ago we had the comet, which was so
Hmm.
fun.
Yeah.
Looking for that. That was with us for a couple of weeks, which was totally awesome. We actually had a comet in town last year, but it was short lived, and I was unfortunately Kalamazoo is too light in order to see
Hmm.
stuff like that. So, what are you gonna do? Nothing. I'm not gonna do anything. All
Nothing.
right, so that's all I got.
Hmm. Good
Pretty
job.
good.
Hmm.
Thanks for spending an hour or so with the brothers sisters, where you got to learn things about stuff. Today we talked about the Perseid meteor shower. And we specifically talked about where are these meteors coming from. We talked about the difference between meteors, meteorites, meteoroids. We talked about the difference of comets, asteroids, meteoroids, meteorites. No, you don't have stars falling upon you. Falling stars, it's not accurate.
It's not
Not
a thing.
accurate.
It's not.
Not a
Sorry.
thing. So yeah, and again, you guys, remember we would love to hear from you. If you go out and you find a bunch of Perseids, we'd love to hear about your experience,
Hmm.
Nancy. We very much want to know about your experience going to the Boundary Waters,
Sure do.
and hopefully you get to see this close up and personal. If not, hopefully you get to see some other cool stuff.
Hmm.
You're going to have the moon with you, so that's going to sort of lighten the things up a little bit. But you should still have some excellent viewing, which is
Yeah.
totally awesome. So yeah, you guys, please give us your questions, concerns, comments, and
Confessions.
confessions. That's right. We want to hear all about it. Um, please subscribe, like, support, leave a review. Spotify, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Apple Podcasts, iHeart Radio. Come join us. If you
Hmm.
can't listen to us live, then listen to us later. because that's what we're looking for. Indeed.
Exactly.
Put the word out. Share us. Tell your friends and family about this informative day. You've learned about ants' pooping habits, and you've learned about meteor showers. Yay.
Exactly. Lucky you.
Right. I know. And I felt like we did a good job keeping the swearing to a minimum today. So
I did too. I thought we were very adult.
Very adult today. So nicely done.
Yeah.
I'm not going to ruin it now, even though I really want to. Okay.
Exactly. I was like, oh no. Oh no.
Yes. Join us next week for an encore presentation of some other episode. That's right. Ann and I are going to be on the road next week. We are going to a wedding. We are going to the wedding of the century. So yes, we will not be available to go live next week, but don't worry. There will be an exciting episode from our archival episode of the Brother Sisters for you to enjoy.
Exactly.
So,
yay. Yeah. Sorry.
It'll be awesome. So so let's go ahead and do this, shall we, Ann Brothers?
Let's.
Wait. There it is. Our outro music. That's right.
My cat did not change positions for the last 56 minutes.
Yeah, your cat's a wonder of nature. So,
isn't he?
Yeah, he really didn't. It's so funny because I'm used to seeing Duncan back there. Instead, I'm seeing the cat. Nicely done. So that's right. That's awesome. I am Janice Brothers. With me is my sister.
And brother.
And her cat, Bovine. That's right. We want you to get out there, do something smart, do something dumb, do something fun. We are out of here.
Bye.